welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, this morning we are joined by culinary educator, the great Jongh, who is reshaping the future of hospitality while championing inclusion in such a powerful way. Now, with over 18 years of experience, this Cape Town-based culinary educator and special needs advocate has blended his passion for food with a mission to empower neurodiverse youth across Mzansi. So please help me in welcoming and give him a Feel Good welcome. Pew, pew, pew. Come on. How are we doing this morning?
Good, man, I'm good. A bit nervous, but I'm good.
No, don't be nervous. It's just a conversation between you, me, and the rest of the country. Like, it's
no
fine.
pressure.
No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, sure.
You have been in the hospitality industry for a while now. Congratulations for almost clocking 2 decades. That is so incredibly beautiful. What inspired that journey to step into the world of food?
So, like many of the students that I have, I struggled with school. They classified now as ADHD. So I'm the kid that was in class that was always disruptive, that they put outside, like you're making a noise, go outside, you're disrupting the school. And I actually dropped out of school in grade 9. I think it was standard 7 at the time. And someone found me making food on the field and offered me a job in the kitchen. And, you know, because I like making acne. I'm from Malay.
I love that.
And the guy bought a bowl of acne from me on the field, and he said, "Listen, why don't you just come and cook?" And I left, and I never turned back from there.
Wait, give me more context. What do you mean cooking acne on a field? Where were you? Was it a sports game?
No, it wasn't a sports day. So it was myself and some friends. So I didn't finish school. I was put out of school at the time, and we were sitting on the field, and I think it was just like a Saturday. And everybody would bring some ingredients. I would have a pochi, and we would sit on the field and make food, and then, you know, go out for the night and stuff. In fact, we were known for going around like to clubs and having a pochi in the boot. So if people wanted food and we didn't have money for alcohol, we would trade like food for
That is an incredibly good business idea, known as the Pochi Boys. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I love that. Okay, so your influence clearly spreads beyond just Cape Town, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very curious about what a typical day in the life for you actually looks like.
Well, for me, so I'm at the school. I'm at the Mitchells Plain School of Skills. And typically I work with kids with neurodiversity. So they're typical, like me. We struggle with classwork, we struggle to read or write or any of those things. So just concentrate in class. So most of our days are spent actually just making food and selling it to the students. But from there, when I leave school at 3, I go and visit ex-learners and I try and find work for kids and stuff. So I will drive around and visit various restaurants, visit ex-learners, make sure that they still, because the biggest problem we have in the hospitality industry, there's such a high dropout ratio, and also being neurodiverse, it's even easier to fall out. So I would go and just, you know, give them a pep talk, or just backhand, say, come on, man, come on, you can do this.
You can do this.
So
no, then you've got to tell me what neurodiverse is, because it's a new term, it's a buzzword that's going around right now. People are probably listening going, break it down for me.
Yeah, so most of us know it as either ADHD or ADD or autism spectrum or any one of those spectrum things.
I get you.
But what I've found is that, yes, the learners do struggle. We do find that they do struggle, but most of them have a niche. So we, at the School of Skills program, we try and find that learner's niche and see how we can promote them in that industry. So I've got students here that's from hospitality, and yes, they struggle to read and write, but I mean, in my experience, in any kitchen that I've worked all over the world, you don't have a recipe. You have a chef showing you something, and you follow him, and you're like very disciplined, you listen to what he says, and you learn like that. So yeah, for neurodiverse students, there isn't a problem. I mean, they just learn differently. And especially the kids with ADHD, I mean, hospitality industry is perfect. You've got all the energy in the world.
Right.
You can do like the 12, 16-hour shifts.
Channeled like in the right direction. And also I love the fact that it's more practical too, because we are all different kind of people and humans, and we learn differently. So what are some of these practical ways? Are they in the kitchen? They front desk? What?
Yeah, so what we try and do is, the basic lesson for us is that we would try and teach you first the wrong way. Because what I've learned in the kitchen is that most great dishes actually comes from a mistake. They made a mistake and they made a plan and those type of things. So we try and teach kids to fix a mistake. So we'll give them a recipe and then show them, okay, this is not what you do. Now how do we fix it? So they know how to work on their feet and stuff. But a typical lesson for us would be outside of the class. So we don't only do lessons in class, we try and take them on the road. give them as much exposure as possible. Yeah.
I like that because they need to know what's out there.
No,
Anybody,
definitely,
really.
definitely.
You can't be what you can't see, so you
How
got
are
to
you
have
start
access.
a business if you can't speak to people? So
You know what I'm
to
saying?
exactly.
Get the social skills also on 100.
Exactly.
I've got to ask you why it's so important for you, Zen, to really champion and advocate for these kids and for people who are neurodiverse.
Okay, so I've got 2 neurodiverse kids. My youngest is on the autism spectrum, he's nonverbal. I've got an elder son that's, he suffers from ADD, and I'm ADHD. So my wife has a full fruit
house,
bowl.
hands are full.
She's good at making fruit salads now.
I love that.
But yeah, for me it's important because when I look at them and I look at my struggles with school, my first experience overseas, I struggled to find work. Not as a chef, but because I couldn't finish school. And for me, it's like the kids that are struggling with neurodiversity, they are not not all of them, but I mean, they are not your A grades, your cum laudes and all those type of things, but they're very creative.
Yeah.
And they need to have a space. And that's what I feel. I need to create a space for them where they can actually show their passion.
And I love that you are doing that. You are doing so incredibly well. I think younger you would look at yourself now and be like, what do you mean?
That's my acne.
You know, also that. Please open your boot right now and give me some. But we are celebrating Kusisas today, which like acne, I'm sure that it's also part of your upbringing, your culture, your heritage. Do you have any sort of, besides acne, recipes that you really enjoy that is part of your culture?
Well, as a chef, I know we get this all the time. It's like people's like, we don't want to make food for you. But if you go to my house, my wife makes me fish paste and toast.
I love that.
Most of the chefs I know, we're not as fussy. We love to enjoy other people's food. So I will go to people's house, whether I'm in the townships or when I'm on the Cape Flats or wherever I am in the country, and I'll enjoy their food. So I don't have a specific, but if you got fish paste and toast, I'm there.
You're there.
I'm there.
I love. Is it that green one, that Pix one that has
the one? Your girl.
I know. I grew up on that asshole. My dad used to bake freshly baked bread, and then we would just spread it on. It was the one.
Yeah.
You had an event on Sunday too, celebrating Kusisas.
We did. We celebrated Kusisas.
Tell me more about it.
So my colleague Mark from We Are Proudly approached me, and he was previously from the Funny Car brand. And he celebrated World Kusista Day at these various competitions, and he said, you know what, he wants to work with the youth this time around. And we sat, we brainstormed, and we thought, you know what, let's get the youth to ask their grandparents for those recipes, those Kusista recipes, you understand? And then on top of it, it was Heritage Month, so we had to incorporate an indigenous ingredient as well. So Mark's got the scientist that works with him in the group, Cindy, and she gave us some ideas of certain ingredients, and we ended up using spekboom. And yeah, it was quite tricky because the kids had to incorporate spekboom into the Kusista.
What?
Well, the thing is, everybody knows the Kusista, so we're like, okay, how do we make the Kusista different? That it stands out, and it's something that the youth can be proud of. Because if you talk about Kusista, you're talking about an auntie that you know that sells it from the home on a Sunday. That's a tradition. So how do you make it a young thing? So yeah.
I love that. No, Zay, listen, the only spekboom I have is on my windowsill in my kitchen. That's why I'm like, how does this come together? But we are getting into Kusisas today, and thank you so much for the work that you do. You're doing an incredible job. And now we head over to the kitchen, because you said Kusisas about 5 times, and now my mouth is watering. So let's see what's going on for our culinary hotline.
Cool.